Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jennie will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger.
Welcome back to another episode of Badass Direct Sales Mastery. It's me, Jennie Bellinger, your direct sales dom, and I am here with Linda McElhaney. Linda is based out of Seminole, Florida, and she has been a Mary Kay director, and she's recently achieved the level of sales director. She's been with the company for 5 years. She's married to Ryan, who owns a CrossFit gym, and they have 2 dogs. And so welcome to the show, Linda.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So great to be here.
Oh, well, we're so glad to have you because honestly, I have a secret to share with you. You're the very first Mary Kay director we've ever interviewed on the podcast.
That's so awesome. I was about to ask while you were talking to me, I was going to ask you if you've had other Mary Kay people here. So that's super fun.
You're the very first. So that's awesome. So, tell me first of all, because Mary Kay has been around for, I think, 60 plus years now.
Yep.
How did you get into Mary Kay?
57 years, 1963.
There you go. Close. Yep. I knew it was somewhere in there.
You were very close, very, very close. So you did your homework. I got into this almost 5.5 years ago. We got married in 2015, and my friend that did my makeup for my wedding texted me 2 months later. She's like, "Hey, I just started my Mary Kay business. I'm looking to try the products on some new faces. Would you be able to try the products for me? They're free, and it's, I just get credit for that." I was like, okay, I like free and I'll help you out. I'm a helper. She came over. I had worked that morning. So I worked at Weight Watchers. I had 2 jobs at the time. So I worked at Weight Watchers on a Saturday morning and I tried the products and I liked them. They're really great. I decided to book a party with her because you earn hostess credit for booking parties and get some free products. So I wound up doing that, booking that for her. And right when she was about to leave, out of nowhere, I just started asking her, like, how does direct sales work? I have no idea. I had a Pampered Chef party once and I kind of asked about it back then. And that was about it, years ago. She goes, well, we get credit for sharing the opportunity with people. And then you can, decide then. I was like, okay. So she sent me this video and I remember it was like 17 minutes long. And I was like, oh, I'm not watching this. I'm tired. I've been up since like 5 o'clock in the morning. So I remember watching half of it. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to watch the rest later. And I wound up like dozing off on the couch. And then I wound up waking back up and watching the rest of it. It was very weird. And we did the call. Now, normally we would set up a call with someone within 24 to 48 hours. And that was a Saturday and we did a call on a Tuesday. So I was like a very rare case.
Yeah.
And, still watching the video, I did not think this is anything I wanted to do. I already had 2 jobs. And then Tuesday, I did the call with my director and her, and I don't remember what she said or what she did. And she didn't push or pull me or anything, but it just sounded like a really amazing opportunity to make extra money because I was in some credit card debt. So, and I was working as a cafeteria manager full time and for Weight Watchers part-time as a receptionist and just was not paying my bills at all. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And that's what I did.
That's awesome. And so in having a business for 5 years, obviously, you've now beat the Federal Trade Commission statistic, which is awesome. Congratulations. Well, something you didn't even know was an issue, right? Which is kind of nice, to know that, oh, hey, I'm already killing it. That's a good thing.
Okay.
So in the course of 5 years, you're going to encounter probably every possible obstacle, right? Yep. That a direct sales or network marketer is going to hit. So what would you say has probably been your toughest challenge in running your Mary Kay business for 5 years?
Definitely when people let you down. So, I mean, even people you don't know that they say they're going to book a session and they say they're going to have girlfriends over and you're ready to go to the party, whether it's the day before, I get my stuff ready, get everything organized back before the pandemic, of course, when we were in person.
Yeah.
And I get, I don't know who you are, but I'm so excited that I can facial you. You can try our products. I get to meet you, and you can experience our opportunity, whether you buy something or not, it doesn't matter. Just so I get to bless you with this amazing products and, everything. And then, they stop answering their phone with call or text. And then they just go into like the blue, into the clouds.
Yeah.
And maybe you hear from them later on and something happened, or maybe you never hear from them again. So I think that was hard to grasp because I'm a wow woman. We call them women of your word. So if I tell you I'm going to do something, unless there's an emergency, I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure out a way. If I'm running around crazy, I'm still going to fit in what I told you I was going to do. So that for me was hard to grasp. And I think I just kind of grew up that way too. My parents are the same way. When we're dedicated to something, we're going to do it, So I think that was really hard for me to build this relationship with the person and then them not respond, make these plans, and then they cancel, and some reschedule, and then some you just
they basically fall off the flat face of the earth, right? You have no idea.
So, but they taught us to double book. So if I were to book you for a session on Friday, I would and another person was free that time, I would also book that person. And it's super scary to have two parties at the same time, but we have something called a dovetail system. So if your party stayed and Sarah's party stayed, I would call up one of my consultants and offer the party to them. And we have like a little system where we split the commissions and da-da-da. So
cool.
we kind of built that into our, now you can do that or not, it's totally your choice, it's your business. We kind of built that into our business where if you did cancel, well, I still have Sarah's party to go to. So like, I'm still working, I'm still good, da-da-da. You can have an opportunity where they both cancel.
Yeah.
So I think that was the hardest to grasp at first. People saying they're going to do something and not going to do it. Like they'll say they're going to join your team. They say they'll fill out the email or call them on Friday when they get paid, and they'll join, and then you don't hear from them. So I think that was hard to grasp, but I guess you get used to something like that. And if you think about how long I've been in this, the good definitely weighs out the bad. Not that all of that's bad anyways, but definitely the good of this business outweighs the few people that have canceled on me, So we always say that God is protecting us from maybe what would have been a bad session or wasn't a safe place or who knows.
Yeah.
So we just kind of go with that and, we move on. So, and that's just gotten easier as I've done it. So.
Yeah. And what has been a benefit of having your business that you were not expecting when you started 5 years ago?
Definitely the flexibility. I've worked in food service my whole entire life, so I never had a set schedule. I was always working nights, weekends, holidays, mornings, at the midday shift. So I never had a set schedule. So when I started working with the school board, I had a set schedule. Weight Watchers was when I kind of had set meetings, but then sometimes those would change. So this was nice that I can fit this into my schedule when I wanted. When Ryan was coaching Monday through Friday nights, when he didn't have a lot of coaches back then, I might as well work my Mary Kay, because if he's not going to be home and we don't have any family time, I might as well go work as well. And I also open my house up to people. If you want to come to me and have the party instead of having it at your house, you can totally do that too. And he wasn't here. So that was great. I didn't think I would like recognition because I never got recognized before. So before I started Mary Kay, I was pretty shy. I used to kind of hide behind him at his Christmas parties. I didn't have the self-confidence. So when I started earning prizes and rewards, my name would be up on Facebook, or my name would be in a newsletter, or I would have to stand up on our little stage at our meeting and say something about how I did all these sales and why, and I was like, all right, well, I'm actually kind of good at this. And, so I never thought I would enjoy recognition because I was pretty shy. I used to shake and have anxiety if I had to talk in front of people I didn't know. So even the aspect of doing a party in front of 5 or 6 people freaked me out until I just got used to it like anything. And then now I don't even think twice about it. So, but really the self-growth was a big thing because I was shy. I did not have a lot of self-confidence. I just never had that. I think just growing up as a woman and, I have one sister, my parents are amazing, but I just think we just have that bad self-image about us. I had weight struggles, thin, not so thin, not so, so
yeah,
like most of us. And I think all of us just maybe not all of us, but some people struggle with that. So I definitely think I've grown a lot for self-growth and now I'm just have a lot of like my personality is different. I'm not as shy as I used to be. I can go up to you in the store if I wanted to and tell you that I love your purple hair because my favorite color is purple and your towel or whatever, there's a blanket, and spark up a conversation. Back then I would be like, ooh, like I want to talk to her, but I don't know. She might look at me crazy, And now I'm like, if you just looked at me weird and walked away, I'd be like, okay, whatever. Like,
yeah, her problem, not mine.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Even this past weekend, we had something called Mary Kay Leadership. It's an event just for directors. So this was my first time being able to attend. Of course, it was virtual. So all of us directors got together in a beach house this weekend and hung out. And normally I would be like super scared and shy and want to huddle up with someone. Like, are you going? What time are you showing up? Can we show up together? Like, do you want a room together? I would have that buddy system because as long as I was with somebody, I would be fine.
Right.
I just feel like I fit in. I've only been a director since November, but I've known these women for 5 years. I haven't known them on the level of director to director. I've known them as they're my director and they're their directors and I was a consultant. So, but now I'm just like, okay, I'm one of them.
That's pretty amazing. So I would have to say, I mean, I've been involved in the direct sales industry since 2010. Mm-hmm. And the number of people who I've seen go through a very similar transformation, metamorphosis, going from, this shy, quiet person who, wouldn't have spoken in public to now popping out and all of a sudden having no problem with going up and complimenting someone on their hair or on their outfit, or nowadays complimenting them on a really funny, cute mask.
Right. As we pivot through the world.
Absolutely. So, but that transformation is something that I see time and again, and it's not something that people anticipate as part of their business. And I think it's just such a cool side effect of the direct sales industry that this is really, it's a personal growth that happens to also pay you while you grow. I mean, it's the coolest thing ever. I mean, the transformation that I get to see with my clients is just so much more fun because they share all the things with me that they would never share with anybody else. So then seeing them go from the things that they're saying when they first start working with me to who they've become and the recognitions that they're getting. I mean, I pop more champagne for my clients than I do for my own business because it's so much fun to watch those transformations, right? So as you're going through and building this business, what do you see happening next with your business? What's your next goal? What's your next, vision for yourself?
Oh my goodness. That's such an amazing question. Well, my unit is going to be growing. So when you become a director, you have to have a minimum of 24 people in your unit with yourself included. And then of course, you want to keep expanding because then you can go a higher level. Like there's a tiered system. I hate to use the word tier, but you can go from, director to senior director to lead, as more, if you add offsprings of people become directors from your unit or just building your team. So I want to just build my unit to make it grow. And I want to just help my team members build their teams as well for themselves, if that's what they want. And really just helping to bless I want to say people, because we do have men in our company. So I bless other people with this opportunity for their families. My biggest goal is to grow my unit. And then also we're on target for our first free car. So I really want to earn that free car. The first level is a Chevy Malibu. We have a second tier level that is like an Equinox, a Colorado, a Camaro, and we have a Traverse, and then the pink Cadillac, like the prestigious pink Cadillac.
Of course. Oh my gosh. You can't not talk about the pink Cadillac. That's kind of like the required thing, right? That's what everybody associates with Mary Kay. So moving forward with that, you're going to have the opportunity to bless so many people with your business and with the business that's going to help them. So I think that's really exciting. That those kinds of things always give me goosebumps as I think about all of those lives that are going to change, which I think is really cool. Yeah. So in doing this for 5 years, you must have a secret to success. What would you say has kept you going and kept you moving for 5 years in this business?
I don't think it's a secret. There was definitely highs and lows, and the lows were not as bad as like a regular day at work, just to say. That's for sure. So, but I just never wanted to give up. I just always saw how beneficial this opportunity was and how blessed I am to and grateful to be a part of it. And as I wanted to move towards becoming a director, so they give you 3 months to finish your qualifications. The only time that you have like qualifications to hit is something like that. And I was determined to get this goal and become a director because I wanted to, and I don't like to use the word prove, but I haven't decided what other word I can use yet, but I wanted to really prove it to myself that I can do this, and to my family, and to like my work. And I really don't like letting people down. And as my director, if she does hear this, she'll say I can never let her down. But I was just really determined to meet this goal. So I just really never wanted to give up. And ironically, we do own a CrossFit gym. And when the pandemic hit, we basically started working out from home. And my husband incorporated a lot of running. And I hate running. Hate it till the 10th, hate it. Like, can't stand it. Was never good at it, hated it. And he started incorporating all these running workouts. I was like, oh. So I started running with my friend, like little by little. We would run like a mile, and like that was like exhausting.
Yeah.
And I was doing CrossFit for 5 or 6 years, but usually a lot of CrossFitters are not into cardio. Right. And I've just never been a runner. I had knee problems. And anyways, long story short. So I just started getting into it. And then I started running. And it's, summers down here could be like 95 to 98 to 100 degrees midday in July. And I'd be getting out of work, and I would grab my sneakers and go running. My husband's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're going where? I'm going to go for a run. Even I can get a mile in. So as I was running, I'm trying to distract myself besides that I have music on. I was determined to hit this Mary Kay goal. And I'm running, and of course I'm dripping sweat from head to toe, and I'm in pain that this is hard, and why am I doing this? This is horrible. And I would think to myself, okay, well, if I can do this and survive, this is hard for me, I could become a director and keep going. What's saying that I can't do this? So I had to actually do something that I really hated and realize that I can do it. And if I put my mind to it, I can do it. Even though I started off slow and then I built up, but then I realized if I can do that, and I didn't die, and that wasn't horrible, I can probably keep going with my business, become a director and more, and see the benefits, So how I got through directorship.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but through my business, I just never wanted to give up. I just enjoyed it so much. And I knew the light at the end of the tunnel would be me leaving my job eventually. And that is my main goal as well, is to leave my job and have the flexibility. Like I see my husband, he just has the gym now. And that way, we want to travel more whenever we can travel again. And So I just there's so many good reasons to be a part of it. I never saw why to stop. I wouldn't want to ever.
That's amazing. I would definitely agree. I think that was one of the big differences when I joined my business. So like I said, I started in 2010. And one of the first things I told myself, because I have a little bit of a history of being ADD, and I was like, I'm not allowed to, give up on this. I'm not allowed to, give up on me. Right. So right. I think that all in commitment makes a big difference for people. And so I can definitely see how that would have helped you move through. And I love your analogy of, connecting it to the running. If I can do this hard thing,
yep,
the business is not that hard. I'm not dripping sweat, I get to, help women feel beautiful and confident and wonderful, and then be able to also make money. It's the icing on the cake in that case. So I think that's really cool. So, well, Linda, I so appreciate you coming here, sharing this with everybody, and being our very first Mary Kay interview.
Hey, so exciting. Thank you for having me. This was so fun that Sean got us together and that we got to do this. And I feel so honored that I was your first Mary Kay person.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule, because, you're still working a job and running your business and taking care of your dogs and helping your husband with this gym and all the things, right? So thank you so much for taking time for doing this. And so if there's somebody who is listening and they've heard your story and they go, you know what? I want that sense of accomplishment. I want that, that business. I want that personal development. I want to get out of my shell, just like Linda did. And they want to reach out to you. How would you like them to get a hold of you?
There's so many ways, I feel like.
Well, do you have a preference for text message, Facebook, email?
I'm really bad about reading my emails, so we'll put that as like the third.
So people should probably reach out to you, maybe Facebook, because I know that's how you and I have connected. Is that a good way to reach you?
Yeah. Facebook Messenger is fine. Facebook Messenger or my phone number is fine. I do have a VIP page as well if they were able to find me on that. So yeah, but probably text is the best. I always have my phone with me and, have my watch. We can't go anywhere without our technology nowadays.
Yeah, no kidding. I feel ya. So listeners, you guys know how this goes. If you want to reach out to Linda, connect with her, the link to her Facebook page is going to be in the show notes. So, grab your phone, click on the episode, scroll up, and you'll see her link to her Facebook. And I will also include her phone number in case you're more of a texting person. And you can text Linda, tell her how much you enjoyed listening to this episode, and connect. See if there's maybe some great synergy there between you and Linda. So thank you again, Linda, for being here. I so appreciate having you here.
Welcome. Thank you for having me. And they could be anywhere in the States and want to call me and join. And we're not, obviously, before even the pandemic and virtual, we can, help other people anywhere. They don't just have to be in Florida. So.
Absolutely. No, and that's so true. I love that about this business is it's no longer relegated to a city. You can literally work with anyone nationwide. So I think that's super cool. Well, listeners, you guys know how this goes. You want to stay tuned because there's another badass episode on its way.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.